Yes. So good evening, one and all. So this is welcome to the class number 4 of the digital circuits gate course. Okay, and in the previous class we have completed Boolean algebras, and we have also seen what are the theorems and postulates are available to minimize the logic equation. The main motto is to minimize the logic equation. In turn, we have to reduce the number of logic gates. So mainly I am going to move towards the next part of our syllabus. So before going to do that, I have also solved one or two problems actually, I think, how to minimize the logic equation and all. Okay, so see here. So mainly now the thing is, what are the advantages of minimization? So students, you need to know those things, because there is some related type of questions maybe come up in the exam. Okay, so what are the advantages of the minimization? So mainly the advantage is, first advantage is number of logic gates. Okay, the number of logic gates reduces. Okay, next one is what? Speed of the, as the number of logic gates reduces, the required path from the input to the output of the signal get increase, the speed get increase, the required path get decreases as well as speed get increases. Next, power dissipation obviously decreases. Okay, as the delay gets decreases, the power dissipation get decreases. Next advantage is circuit complexity reduces. Circuit complexity, so these are all very important, student. So some of the related type of questions you can get actually get from the gate exam. So circuit complexity decreases. Next, fan in. What is fan in, students? Is a logic circuit uh, drives how many inputs, the number of inputs. You can say the number of inputs the logic circuit can drive. The number of inputs also, the fan in also get reduces. Next, cost of the design also reduces drastically. So these are the main advantages of minimization. So we can study logic equation minimization. So the advantages are number of logic gates decreases, speed increases, power dissipation decreases, circuit complexity decreases, fan in decreases, and cost get decreases. Okay, do you all understand? So there are different ways to minimize the things, and the first way we have seen, we can apply the Boolean algebra. Okay, from the algebra we have studied theorems, 6 postulates. We can apply such theorems and postulates to reduce down our number of logic gates, which in turn increases the speed of the design, power dissipation reduces, circuit complexity decreases, fan in decreases, cost decreases. Okay, so this is the first part. Next, we will move some of the questions. We can see how the questions will come in the gate exam. So this is part of the gate question, which is actually came in very old, you can say like 2003. So this question is from 2003. See what is the question. A B bar C, A B bar C bar, find the minimum number of NAND gate required to design. Okay, so the question is like this. Okay, so choices are A0, B1, C2, D3. Okay, so this is actually the question. So in this, what is us? Find the minimum number of NAND gates required to design this logic function. So what you need to do, obviously this is actually, it's not given anything to apply here, Boolean algebra and all. You need to design it. So all of a sudden, what you guys has to start actually using NAND gates, and how you know that how to implement AND gate over NAND using NAND gate and all. Anybody can start it, and it will be end up with lot of options actually come up. So what you need to do, very simple, you just start applying the Boolean algebra. Okay, so whatever you have studied, start applying the Boolean algebra. It will be AB. So here I can take AB bar, C or C bar. I just use the distributive law. Okay, distributive law. Next, AB bar, C bar is, C or C bar is 1, which is actually postulate number 6. Okay, which is actually existence of complement. A or A bar is 1. So this is actually the postulate we have used. Then we move to the A B bar. So here we have used the A and 1 is A. then which is postulate number 2. Then finally we move to the A, B or B bar, okay, which is actually A and 1. So here we have used actually again distributive law, okay, we have used distributive law over here, okay, and A and 1, as we know that existence of complement, postulate number 6, we have used both the things, which is A or A bar is 1. We have used these two theorems, distributive law over here, okay, from this, and finally A and 1, which is A, okay. So here postulate number 2, which is actually A and 1 is A. So these many Boolean algebras or theorems or postulates we have used and reduce it down to A. Now how to design this A actually? So the number of the NAND gets required to design are how much? So see here, so I can simply take a wire and run it off, we can achieve the output. So this is the digital circuit which actually runs up the simple input. So there is no NAND gate required. So obviously the option A actually is the answer. Okay, this type of questions you can get it. Okay, next we will move to the next question, students. So simplify A B bar, A B C bar. So whatever the questions I am doing today, all are important and all actually came in the exams. Okay, so you have to simplify this. How to simplify this? As we know that just I am doing this thing, A B bar is present here, I am going to apply the distributive law over here. So I am just taking and rearranging the equation, nothing else. A B bar, C bar, D. Okay, just I have rearranged the equation, nothing else. Okay, next A B C bar, which will give me A B bar 1 or C bar D. Okay, distributive law I have applied here. Okay, next A B C bar, which is A B bar and 1, as we know that, which is actually null element A or 1 is 1. Okay, this is theorem number 2, null element. Next A B C bar or A B bar, which we have achieved actually by the help of postulate number 2, which tells about existence of identity element A and 1 is A. Okay, next we move to the here you can see I can do B C bar or B bar. Okay, so is this a simplified version? No. So here I have applied distributive law. So here you can see how many literals are there, 4 literals are there, but still we can reduce it up to the next one. What you have to do, I have just applied again distributive law over here, B bar or B and B bar or C bar. Okay, so which is actually the distributive law again we have applied here, which will finally A 1 and B bar or C bar. Okay, so here we have again postulate number 6, existence of complement A or A bar is 1. Okay, then finally A 1 and B bar C is B bar plus C bar. So this is the final equation. So we have used postulate number 2, which is nothing else, A and 1 is A. Okay, so here I have reduced it up to the 3 literals. Okay, so this is the simplified version. Okay, so do you all understand? So very simple, nothing else. I have used certain Boolean algebras here, Boolean theorems and postulates to simplify it into how many literals? 2, 3, 5, 4, 9. From 9 literals to 3 literals. So many of you will get confused. You can stop over here, but it will be again further reduce it to the 3 literals, A, B bar or C bar. Okay, so this is the thing. So next we'll move to the next part, next question. So I'm just running for more number of questions I have to do. That is my motto today. So A or B, simplify this logic equation, A or B, A or C. What you have to do? So here the question will be simplify this function. Okay, so what you have to do? You can apply distributive law over here, A, AC, AB and BC. So I have just used the distributive law, nothing else. Distributive law. Okay, so A I know that A, and here this is AC, AB or BC. So here I have applied theorem number 1, idempotency, A and A is equal to A. Okay, so simply I can use here A, take distributive law again, 1 or C or B. Okay, I can take like this or not. Else if you are having doubt, you can do one thing, you just have to do A, or you can take both this common, B or C or BC. Okay, just you have used again distributive law between these two. Okay, distributive law, you have applied the distributive law over here. Okay, next A or A and B or C is what I can take here distributive 1 or B or C. I can take like this, or BC. So I have used again here distributive. Okay, what actually A 1 or BC is nothing else. 1 or A is what I have already told you. 1 or A is nothing else here 1. So this is actually this is actually theorem null element. Okay, null element 1 or A is 1. So this is A and 1 or BC. So A and 1 is A or BC. So this is here what I have used. Postulate number 2 I have used here. Postulate number 2, which is A and 1 is A, existence of identity element. So I have simplified it to the A or BC. So what I have done here, A or B and A or C simplified to the A or BC. So this I have already known that what is actually this theorem is called transposition theorem. You can see this is called transposition theorem. Okay, how can you use? Today we'll use those things, don't worry. This is also called transposition theorem. Okay students, so and also I have told you what actually I have told you, you can also use this up to reduce down the logic equation. So similarly we can have again another type of simplification, very simple. You see A bar or B and A bar or C is A bar or BC. This is also kind of transposition theorem. Okay, so next we'll move to the next part, next question. This is also very important. It actually came in the GATE exam. So see here, A or B or C, A or B bar or C, A or B or C bar. So you have to, what you have to do? You have to simplify it, simplify this function. So there will be a lot of options will be there. Out of these options, you have to choose one of them. After that, after simplification. So see here what I am going to do actually. So you see here, if you take these two terms, you can see here A plus B, A or B is there, here also A or B is there. So I can rearrange it like this, A or B or C, A or B or C bar, and A or B bar or C. Okay, if you are not understanding, please unmute and ask me, students. Okay, so I'm thinking that you guys are understanding, that's why I'm running through. Okay, now take A or B as X. So if you take A or B as X, so what will happen? This will be X or C and X or C bar, A or B bar or C. Am I correct, students? So I have just taken A or B as X and replace that X here and here, nothing else, to get that new F. Okay, so I can do here very simple. X or C is nothing else. This will be mine what? X or C or C bar. From where we have achieved this? By using transposition theorem. I have just used the transposition theorem and I have got this X or C bar. And here it will be as it is, A, B bar or C. So I have just used the transposition theorem, which I have just now told you. Transposition, what is transposition theorem told me? A or B, A or C is A or BC. Am I correct, students? Very simple, nothing else. Okay, now what I have done here, C or C bar, I know that what? 0. Okay, C or C bar is what? 0. What is that rule actually? Null elements, A or A bar is 1, A and A bar is 0. Sorry, not null element. This is what actually, student? This is actually existence of complement. Okay, existence of complement. This is dual to each other. They are all dual to. Just I have used this existence of complement. A and A bar is 0 over here. So as we know that X or 0 is X and A or B bar or C. I'm just not touching this part. Next, what I can simplify here? I can put X. What I have taken X? X is A or B. I've just taken that A or B bar or C. Okay. Now I can apply the distribution theorem here. A B bar, AC, AB, B bar, and BC. So if I apply the distribution theorem, I will be end up with this. Okay. Now you see B and B bar is what? It's 0 by using this existence of null element. Existence of complement. So A and A is what? A, which is AB bar or AC or AB or BC. So I can take it here like this. So here what I did, I have used A and A is A. What is this from theorem number 1? What is theorem number 1? Idempotency. Here I have used existence of complement A and A bar is 0. So these are the theorems and postulates I am just putting up and going forward. Okay. So I can use again distributive law here, B bar, C or B. Okay. Or BC. Okay. So as we know that this will be, let's say, X now, 1 or X is what? As we know that 1 or X is nothing else, 1. Okay, so I have used 1 or A is 1. Okay, next A and 1 is what? A or BC. So here I have used postulate number 2, which is nothing else, my A and 1 is A. So you see here how I have been reduced by using transposition theorem. Okay, so this is the way. So there are many options will be there. There will be one of the options like this will be there. There will be one of the options like this will be there. There will be like A bar or B bar or C will be there. You have to choose, you have to simplify it like this, and finally you have to choose the correct answer, students. Okay, very simple. Next we'll move to the next part. Next question, simplify A B, A bar, B bar, A B bar. Whatever I am doing today, all are very important, students. What I am doing here, so A B, A bar, B bar, A B bar. So just what I am going to do, I am just going to bring these two, means rearrange the equation. A B, A B bar, A bar, B bar. Okay, just I have done rearrange. I have just rearranged the equation. Okay, so which is A B, so B or B bar. I have used distributive law between these two, or A bar, B bar. So this here distributive law. I've used the distributive law. Okay. Next, B or B bar, I know that it's 1, A bar, B bar. So here B or B bar, as we know, it's 1, existence of complement. I have just used postulate number 6. Next, A and 1, I know that A bar, B bar. Okay, as I know that A. So this will be actually postulate number 2 I have used. A and A, 1 is A. Now, is this my simplified version, students? Obviously no. How? So here I am getting 3 literals over here. So I can also further reduce A or A bar and A or B bar. Okay, what is that? I have just used the distributive law again here. Okay, as we know that A or A bar is 1, A or B bar. Okay, here I have used existence of a complement again. So postulate number 6, A or A bar is 1. Then I have used A or B bar. So here postulate number 2 again I have used, and which is A and 1 is A. So here you see I have been reduced up to 2 literals. Okay. So in this choice will be here. Many of you will make mistake over here. Always try to reduce it further. If it is not reducing, you can conclude it over that my reduced simplified version is this one. So many of you will do mistakes over here. So this will be the answer, students. It can reduce up to, so if this question will be given to you like this, minimize the given function, or how many minimum number of literals required to design it. Okay, so it will be 2 literals you can get. Okay, there will be option 0, 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, you can make 2. So next question, I'll move to the next question. So next question, let's say given function is AB, A bar B and AB bar. So what you need to do, again the same way you can do. So if you can do this, what will happen? You will get how much? Very simple. So we have used these two things. You can take distributive law actually from the AB and A bar B. Between these two, you can use distributive law. So what will you get if you get distributive law? B, A bar A or AB bar. So I have just used the distributive law, nothing else. Between these two, I have used the distributive law. So I'll get B, A or A bar is nothing else my A B bar. So I have used here distributive law. Okay. Next B and 1 A B bar. So I have used your existence of complement, postulate number 6, A or A bar is 1. Then I move to the B and 1 is B. So many of you make mistake over here. It will be 3 literals. You can further reduce it to B or A, B or B bar. Okay. So it will be B or A, B or A B bar is 1. Okay. Postulate number 6. here distributive law, all these things you have to know. B or A, okay, because I have used postulate number 2, which is nothing else A and 1 is A. So I can also use commutative law, which is actually B plus A. So I have used the commutative law finally to get A plus B, A or B. Okay, do you all understand? I can reduce it up to 2 literals. Okay, so we'll move to the next part. So we have studied yesterday, students, one of the important theorem. What is the theorem actually? So see here, consensus theorem. What is consensus theorem? How to use consensus theorem? How to use consensus theorem? Okay, we'll see today now. Okay, what is consensus theorem? X, Y, X bar Z, if second literal of the first term Y and second literal of the second term Z is present as a third term, then this will be act as a consensus theorem, consensus term, or you can also tell this is the redundant term. We don't use that term over here. You have to drop it out. So this actually finally X, Y, X bar Z. So how to use it? See here some questions we are going to do now. So if the function is given to you, simplify the given function a b a bar c b c. So see here very simple. So here second literal of the first term and second literal of the second term is present as a third term. So see here these two a and a bar both are again opposite. So see here x and x bar is present. So I can apply the consensus. I don't need to go for distributive law, all this thing that to do. Just I am going to reduce it to a b a bar c over by using consensus theorem. Okay, by using consensus theorem I have achieved this. So next question, f is a b b c bar or AC. Okay, if the question is like this, what you can do? Very simple, you see. Let's say this is my question. C and C bar are opposite here. A and B is present in the third term. So this term become consensus now. Consensus. So you need to know where you can use it actually. Okay. So finally, what is the simplified version? AC B C bar. Okay. So you need to find out the consensus term here, nothing else. Okay, this is the way you can use consensus theorem. Okay, so first of all, you need to check in first two terms. Okay, it may be here one term will be there, and finally consensus term here also. So you need to identify where is my consensus term is available, what I have to drop out mainly. Okay, the next part, next question. Let's say the question will be like this: A or B, A bar or C, B or C. So what I need to do, Sumit? So everybody I know, you just has to open it up, distributive law, by using distributive law. So at the end up, you will be messy. So see here what you can do. This term and this term are in complement form. This is the dual form of consensus theorem. It's like a dual form of consensus theorem. See, a second literal of the first term is available. Also second literal of the second term is available as a third term. Okay, so this is my redundant term or consensus term. Okay, so which can be dropped. So finally my simplified version is A or B, A bar or C. Understand, students? It's very simple, nothing else. So next question. So variety of questions I am doing. So see here, A or B, B bar or C, A or C. So what do you understand from this? So so these two terms here, B and B are opposite to each other. A is present here and C is also present here. So this term is now consensus. So what is the answer? A or B, B bar or C. So this is the simplified version. Okay, very simple, students. You need to know where you are going to use, how you are going to use consensus term. Okay, so next question, very important. So you have the last question of this part. A bar, B bar, A C bar, B bar, C bar. How to solve it, students? So which one you have to use over here? So here again consensus I can use. Obviously, see here A and E bar, two are opposite, and B bar is present here and C bar is also present here. So I can drop this. This is my consensus term. I can drop it. My final answer is A bar, B bar, A, C bar. Okay. So all of these are in complement. Only one literal is in uncomplement to satisfy this consensus theorem. Okay, so this is the way we can solve, minimize the logic equation. How the what actually helps the minimization of logic equation? It helps the number of logic gates reduced, speed gets increased, power dissipation reduced, then cost get reduced. Okay, so these are the number of advantages, and fan-in get reduced, number of inputs get reduced, obviously that's why fan-in get reduced. So we'll move to the next part of our syllabus, very important part. So mainly there are two types of terms are available. What is SOP? Okay, SOP will be in the form of minimal sum of product and in the form of canonical sum of product. So we'll see how all this, don't worry. SOP is nothing else, your sum of product. So a logic equation can be expressed either in sum of product or in product of sum. So in sum of product, it is only two ways we can express: minimal sum of product and canonical form of sum of product. Okay, similarly POS also can be in the form of minimal and in the form of canonical. Okay, so this is actually canonical is also called as standard form. Okay, is also called as standard form of POS. POS is nothing else, a product of sum. Okay students, product of sum. Okay, so we'll see now, under this we'll solve many things. So bit A is minimization. So how we can use this SOP and all, we'll see now, don't worry. Okay, what is minimization? Before going to start this SOP and POS, I want to tell you one more important questions over here. So what you can do to minimize actually? This SOP is what actually? It will be in canonical form or in minimal form. So let's say one of the SOPs I have written here, F, which is XY. So this is also very important question, students. XY bar WZ. So this is X and Y bar, total bar. Okay, are you understanding? So this is actually in the form of minimal form of SOP. Can I say like this? No. Okay, so in order to minimize it, what you can do, you can apply certain Boolean algebras. Okay, so minimize this. So what you can do here, let's say you want to minimize, so let's say this is the question I'm going to minimize. What you can do, let A is XY, okay, and B is WZ. So just put over there in equation number F, equation number 1. So what you can do, XY is A, I have just put over here. Here what I have to put, A bar and B. Okay, so I know that A or A bar, and I know that A or B. I just use the distributive law over here, nothing else. So I'm just minimizing the sum of product. This is in the sum of products. See, this is some product terms. These are all product terms. Okay, I'm just minimizing this. Okay, so that A or A bar, I know that it's 1, which is A1, A or B. So here what I have done, postulate number 6 I have used, which is nothing else, existence of complement. Okay, existence of complement. Okay, next A and 1 is A or B. So I can get here by postulate number 2, which is actually A and 1 is A. So finally I got minimized version, F is A or B. Now I have to put those values over here. What are those value of A? Value of is XY or WZ. So this is WZ, students. Okay, do you all understand? So it's very tough to minimize actually directly. So you can assume like this, then you can able to solve it up. So how many literals you can converted into? 4 literals. So you need how many gates here? 2 AND gates and 1 OR gate to design it. But in order to design this, how many gates you require? Just require 3 gates after simplification, and it becomes 4 literals. But here how many literals? 2, 4, 6 literals. And how many gates? Obviously there are and NOT gates and many gates have been come up, and that too sophisticated gates like 4 input AND gates and all. Okay, so one more very important question, this actually came in 2009, students. I'm going to do gate question. So see here, so this is very important, try to understand. F or B is A bar or B. Okay, then you won't get these questions from the any book, students. Then the value of f of f x or y comma y comma z is, choices are x, y or z. B is x, y bar or z. C is x bar, y or z. D is x. Solve it. So very important, students. Try to understand this question. So here one clue is given only here. Let f of a comma b is a bar or b, and you have to find out f of x or y. So you need to find out this. What you need to find out mainly? You need to find out f of x or y comma z. Okay. Here what is given to you in the question? So I can take this inner, this one. Okay, you can see this is in which form? Can I be equate like this form? Okay, so here x or y is a and y is b. So I can write down, I can use this here, f of a comma b is my a bar or b. I can use over here. A is nothing else, my xy. I am considering here x or y, and b is I am considering here y. Then I can use this because I have been given here this one. I have to use this up, otherwise I cannot able to find out. So this is f of x or y or y. So f of x or y is what? A bar. A bar is what? A bar is x or y. X or y whole bar. A or b. B is what? Y. Okay, comma z. Do you all understand, students, what I have done? I have just correlated this one with this. It is in the form of a comma b. Here a I have taken as a x or y, b I have taken as a y. Then I have used those things over here. F of a comma b is what? A bar or b. So I have taken a is x or y, I have taken a bar, and b I have taken as it is y. Next what I can do? Again I can use of here, let's say De Morgan's theorem. I can able to use De Morgan's theorem here. What is that? Break the bar, change the operator. Okay. So I have used the De Morgan's theorem here. Very simple. Because why I am doing this? Because I have to remove this f. Okay. In order to remove this f, I have to solve this thing as it is. Okay. So next, f of x bar, y bar or y comma z. So can I relate again it with this? So this will be my a, this will be my b. Now this will be my a, this is my b. Let here a is again x bar, y bar or y, and b is z. Can I do it like this? Because it is in this form. Again it become in this form. So I can use it up. Very simple. So which actually give rise to my removement of f. So what I will get here? What is a bar, b I will get. So what is a bar is nothing else, x bar and y bar or y whole bar, or b is what? Z. So finally I will get this or not. So now I can easily solve this up. I can again apply De Morgan's theorem over here. So what if I apply De Morgan's theorem over here? So break the bar, change the operator, or will be change it to end, and simply z as it is. So if I'll again apply the De Morgan's theorem, it will be x bars bar or y bars bar and y bar or z. So I am just applying the De Morgan's theorem, step by step De Morgan's theorem. What I told, why when I have to apply De Morgan's theorem, up to when I will have a inverters, total inverters will be there. X bars bar is what? X or y and y bar or z. So here I have used the involution property. What is involution? A bars bar is a. Next I have used the distributive law, x and y bar, y and y bar or z. So y and y bar I know that it's 0 by using the existence of complement, from dual of the existence of complement, which is postulate number 6. So a and a bar is 0. I know that. I just applied it here. And finally x, y bar or z. Check it whether my option is available or not. X, y bar or z. Is it available? Yes. B is the option. So very, very important, student. This type of question will come in the exam actually. Okay. So I'll give you one question actually. You guys has to do that and so post it in my WhatsApp. Okay. So the question will be the similar type of question. So let x, these are all questions I have taken from the GATE questions, nothing else. X and y is x bar or y, and z is x multiplied y. Then the value of z multiplied x is, options are A x, B 1, C 0, D x bar. Okay, you have to solve this and show it to me tomorrow, else I'll do it tomorrow, don't worry. Okay, so next part. So part 1 get over. From the SOP, the minimization can be possible. We can minimize it to get the minimized version of the equation. We can solve it up and we can finally design it up. It's very simple. Next we'll move to the B, which is SOP. We'll move to the sum of product. What is sum of product? So see here, I'll give one small example. A, B, C, A bar, B, C, or A, B, C bar. Okay. So these are all one min terms. These are all min terms. And finally summed up to get a function f. So that's why it's called a function f is in the form of sum of product. These are all one min terms. Okay. So all these min terms summed up to get the sum of product function. Okay. So see here in SOP form, all of you know that in SOP form, okay, each product term means these are all product term. Each product term in sum of product form, each product term is known as what? Is known as min term. Is known as min term, or very important concept I'm telling, or implicant. Okay, in some of the questions in the GATE exam they may ask implicant. Okay, in some of SOP form each product term is known as, these are all min terms or implicants. Okay, next SOP form is used when SOP will use, SOP form is used when output of logical expression, okay, is 1. Whenever the output in the truth table is 1, we are going to use the SOP form. Okay, whenever the output of the logical expression is 0, we have to use the POS form. While I am teaching the POS, I will tell that. So what actually I am giving one example over means, what is the meaning of it? Meaning is 1 will be expressed as true form of the variable and 0 will be expressed as complement form of the variable. Okay, do you all understand, student? SOP form is used when output of logical expression is 1. So we'll see one of the question here. So see what are the example. Let's say 5 is what? 101. So what I told you, 1 means it is in the true form. So I can write down this in this way. A, 0 means complement form, B bar and C. Okay, similarly 9 means 1001. So min term means what? A, B bar, C bar, D. So 1 means uncomplement, 0 means complement form. This is the way I can represent any decimal number in the terms of min terms. Okay, SOP form will be used when output of the logical expression is 1. Okay, next I'll give you one question here. So see here, what is this question? For the given truth table, minimize SOP expression. So the truth table is given here. A, B, output is Y. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. As we know that 2 input means 2 to the 4. So 2 to the 2, 4 combinations possible. 1, 0, 1, 0. Let's say this is the question. So what do you understand from this? As I told you, in SOP, the output is used if the logic 1, then you have to use SOP. And here it's clearly written, it's a SOP. So at this case, A bar, B bar, this will be also A, B bar. In that cases, my output actually appears. So what is my expression, students? SOP. The expression is in SOP form, only one should be taken. Wherever the logical expression one will be there, that will be taken. Okay. So output will be A bar B bar and A B bar. Okay. Do you all understand? So now what you have to do for the given truth table, minimize SOP expression. This is not in a minimized form. Okay, this is in the form of canonical. What is canonical? I'll tell you. Don't worry, students. This is in the form of canonical. You have to reduce it by using certain Boolean algebras. You have to reduce it to the simplified version. What you need to do? Very simple. You again apply certain distributive law over here. A bar or A, which is nothing else. B bar. A bar or A is 1. So I have used existence of complement, distributive law, all these things I am applying here. Existence of complement A or A bar is 1. And finally B and A is B. So I have solved it to B. Okay, all of you understand, students? Very simple, nothing else. So I have just solved it to the B. So F will be, my SOP is simplified to B. Okay, sorry, B bar. Okay, B bar and A. So I have used postulate number 2 and I have got that. A and 1 is A. So I got F is B bar. Okay. So here you see here. So how to write this? This is F. It is actually Y because output is given as Y. So I will be expressed in the form of Y. This is not in simplified form. This is actually in the form of canonical form. I have expressed into the minimal form. I'll tell you what is canonical later on. Don't worry. Okay. So SOP can be expressed either in minimal and canonical form. So Y can also be written in this way, students. What is that? Written Y of A comma B. A comma B means Y is a function which is taking the variables A and B. So which are actually summation of M 0 comma 2. What is summation of 0 comma 2? So this is logic. This is if you take these things, decimal values 0, 1, 2, 3. So when the output is 1, that values need to write up. So that is actually nothing else, M0. It can also be written as M0 or M2. Okay. So Y of A comma B can be expressed in this way, can be expressed in this way, and after simplification it will be expressed in this way. All of you understand, students? Very simple. And why I have not written 1 and 3? Because during 1 I am not getting any logic output. As I told you, in SOP only once will be taken care. Wherever the logic equation is 1, those inputs I am going to be taken care, and I am going to take the equation from there, SOP equation from there. Okay. Next part. So some questions we'll do on this. Simplify the expression for Y of A comma B is summation of M 0 to 3. Okay. What you need to do? You need to minimize this. So what is the logical expression in SOP? This is actually in the form of designations. What are those designations? M0, M2 and M3. So this consists of this equation Y consisting of 3 min terms. What are those? M0, M0, M2 and M3. Okay. So if I am making it logical expression, so logical expression in SOP form. So what it would be in SOP form? Logical expression in SOP form, nothing else. Y is M0. M0 means what you have to do? M0 can be, so see here what I am doing, M0, M2 and M3. So M0 is nothing else, 0, 0. This is 1, 0. This is 1, 1. Okay. So what I told in min terms, what I told, 0 means it's in the, 0 means what? I have told you, 0 means it's in the complement form. 1 is in the uncomplemented form. So just put it. This will be, it's in the variable A, B. So A bar, B bar. So this is A, B bar, and finally 1, 1 means uncomplemented form, A, B. So this is actually the expression, logical expression in SOP form. Do you all understand? So very simple, nothing else. So finally what you need to do, you have to simplify it. The question has been asked you to simplify the expression for this. So first from this I have identified what is my logic expression in SOP form. Now I'm going to use certain Boolean algebras to simplify it. Very simple, nothing else. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take distributive law over here, A bar or A. Between these two I have used distributive law, AB. So here I have used what? Distributive law. Next I went to B bar. A bar or A is 1. Next AB. So which is B bar. So I have used existence of complement postulate number 6 over here. Next I have B bar, AB. So here I have used A and 1 is A, postulate number 2. So can it be simplified version? Obviously no, because it's again gets simplified. How? We can apply the distributive law B bar or A and B bar or B. I can again get simplify this. So this will be B bar or A. I can write down A or B bar by applying commutative law, and this will be B or B bar is nothing else, my 1. So this will be again postulate number 6, existence of complement. Then finally A or B bar and 1 is A or B bar. Okay, so this will be my A and 1 is A, postulate number 2. So do you all understand how much literals I have reduced? I have reduced up to 2. Okay, so this is the minimization of first what we have done. We have been given in the designation form of min terms. I have been expressed in the logical form. Then finally I have solved it by the help of certain Boolean algebras. Okay, to simplify it. So do you all understand? So students, what are the questions will come up? This is the way questions will come up. Okay, so next part. So now we'll move to our next part. SOP can be of two forms. So what are the two forms? I'm going to explain now. One is in the form of minimal form. Okay, another one is canonical form. So I'll give you an example over here so that you can understand in better way. So let's say I have been given here, what is canonical form? Canonical form is nothing else. The function, the sum of product function, the SOP function, okay, should all the min terms should consisting of all the variables either in the two form or in the complement form. Then this form is canonical form. Okay, you can minimize that canonical form to get the simplified form, which is to be designed for our digital circuit. Do you all understand, student? SOP can be expressed in canonical form if all the variables are present as a min term, each min term either in the form of complement or in the form of uncomplement, then that is called canonical form of SOP. And canonical form need to be simplified by using certain Boolean algebras, which is nothing else, theorems and postulates, certain theorems and postulates, to get minimized version, which is called minimal form of SOP, which is to be expressed or digital circuit to be designed. Okay, so see here, this is actually one of the question asked in the GATE exam. I'll just explain here. I'm going to solve this in canonical SOP. So see here how the question will come. In canonical SOP form, number of min term. So please try to read it very carefully. Min term present in the logical expression, A or B bar or C each. So A, choice A is 4, choice B is 5, choice C is 6, choice D is 7. Okay, so let's say this is my question. So what is asked to you in canonical SOP form? Number of min term present in the logical expression A or B bar C. Okay, so you need to, what is given to you, A or B bar C is which form? Actually it's a minimal form. It's given you minimal form. You need to find out the canonical form, and here you have to count it and tell how many number of min terms are available there in the canonical SOP. So it's actually in the minimal form. So this is my minimal form. Okay, I need to express in the canonical form. What I need to do, very simple. You see here, so this is my F, let's say. First of all, in each term, very simple, I'm just, you know this very well also. What are the missing variables? Identify the missing variables. Step 1. What are the missing variables here? Here the missing variable B and C. What are the missing variable here? In second term A. So first step is identify the missing variables. Okay. Next term, next step 2, whatever number of missing variables missed, that much number of 1 you end with that variable. Okay. Next, A is missing here 1, B bar C. So what I have done here, whatever number of missing variable there, I just has to express in the form of A and 1, which is nothing else A. Okay. So next, I can also apply this way, B or B bar, C or C bar. Okay. And here A or A bar, B bar, C. So here what I have used, I have just replaced 1 with A or A bar form. Replace 1 with, this is step 3, replace 1 with A or A bar form. Okay, because which is postulate number 6. Okay, complement, existence of complement. Now I can apply the distributive theorem. What is my distributive theorem? A. So if I apply here BC, BC bar, B bar C, B bar C bar, or A, B bar C, A bar, B bar C. Do you all understand, friends? Very simple. I just use the distributive law here, nothing else. Again, I can apply distributive over here. A, B, C, A, B, C bar, A, B bar C, A, B bar C bar, A, B bar C, A bar, B bar C. Next, what you need to do? If there is, again I have used your distributive law. If there is any repeated terms come over here. So here any repeated terms are you observing over here? You see here, this is one repeated term. Am I correct, students? Okay, this is A B bar C, A B bar C, and we know that repeated term means apply this X or dot 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 any number of X, it will be single term. Okay, so I can apply here ABC, ABC bar, A B bar C. Out of these two I am going to take only one, A B bar C, A B bar C bar, and finally A bar B bar C. So anything else possible? Now everything is in the canonical form. Yes, all the minterms. This is one minterm 1, minterm 2, minterm 3, minterm 4, minterm 5. All these minterms. So here how many minterms? 5 minterms. All these minterms have all the variables A, B, C either in the form of true form or in the form of complement form. Okay, these are the things available. See here. Okay, so now this will be canonical, and how many minterms are actually required? 5 number of minterms are presenting this logical expression. Presenting this logical expression. So B is the option, correct option. Okay, do you all understand, friends? Very simple. So like this questions will be come up in the exam. Okay, we'll go to the next question. So the next question is, let's say this is the last question we'll do. The last question will be, let's say F A B bar or B C, express it. Okay, express it minimum number of minterms required in canonical form. Okay, so here this expression is given over here. What is F? F is nothing else, A B bar or BC. So this is my F, students. So you have to express it minimum number of how many minterms required in canonical form. So obviously this will be not in canonical form, because in canonical form all the minterms should be consisting of all the variables either in the form of true form or in the form of complement form. So obviously here there are two terms. These are all missing terms are available. So here missing term is C, here missing term is A. So what I have to do, I told you whatever number of missing terms are there, that need to be end with 1. So here missing term is A, I am going to end with 1. So okay, which actually tells that A and 1 is A, which is not changing my function. So next I am going to replace 1 with the missing variables in the form of C or C bar. Okay, 1 will be again A or A bar. Okay, B, C. So I have been replaced 1 in the, replace 1 in the form of a or a bar is 1. Okay, I just replace, nothing else. So what I have got here, then I can apply the distributive law, very simple, which is a b bar c, next a b bar c bar, next a b c, next a bar b c. Okay, anything else possible? First I have used the distributive law. Now what you need to check, you need to check whether any common term is available or not. If available, then apply this formula. Okay, is this theorem, which is idempotency theorem, theorem number 1 of the Boolean algebra. Okay, anything is there here. So how to choose? Actually, if there are many number of min terms, it's very tough. So what I told you, min terms means what, students? Min term means if okay, min terms means what? Min term means 0 is in the form of complemented, 1 is in the form of uncomplemented. Okay, so wherever the uncomplemented, there put just 1 1 1 1. Okay, so this is b bar, I think. So this is 0. Okay, 1 0 1, or this one will be 1 0 0, this will be 1 1 1, this will be 0 1 1. So from this you can see that there is no min terms will be common, so all are different min terms are available. So how many minimum number of min terms required to express in canonical form? 4 min terms. Okay, do you all understand, students? So this much will be for today's class. Okay, so in the next class we'll go for the next different topics actually.